Hey Firebuds, it's Lavender, and today I have an amazing tutorial. I'm putting together Mavis's costume and sewing her black dress completely from scratch. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel, hit that red subscribe button, that really helps me out, and hitting that like button. Okay, so here it is. So Mavis's costume is really easy to put together. You can just buy all these individual pieces and put them together. I have some black and red striped tights. I bought mine from Amazon, but Spirit Halloween and Party City also has them. Next is a mesh long sleeve top. I also bought this from Amazon, but Hot Topic would be a good place to find these too. You wear this shirt under your dress to create the mesh sleeves. Last you'll need is Mavis's black turtleneck dress. This is another item you can buy in stores, or you can be extra like me and make it completely from scratch. That is what I'm going to show you how to do right now. This is a really easy, simple way how to sew a dress. First thing you'll need is some stretchy black fabric. I like stretchy fabric because it's more forgiving. You don't need a zipper, and some you don't need a hemmet because it won't fray. So you just buy enough to get the length that you want and to be able to wrap it around you. I think I got 1.5 yards. So what I'm first doing here is I'm folding it in half, so when I cut pieces out, I get 2 identical ones. Now this is how you make sewing easy. You grab something you already have that fits you well and you use that as a template. Since I'm using a stretchy fabric, I'm using a dress that is also stretchy. I'm taking pins, pinning the 2 pieces of fabric together so when I cut it, they'll stick together. And I also use them as a guide of where to sew. Okay, now I'm cutting it out. Make sure you leave an inch away from the dress to give you some space to sew. The easiest thing to do for sleeves is just to cut along those as well. And then just sew the 2 pieces of fabric together like we're going to do for the rest of the dress. I'm going to show you the fancier method. We're going to make sleeves and sew them on. So first we need to cut the hole out. So I'm just, again, copying how the dress looks. I move the sleeve aside to get the shape of the opening for the sleeve, and I'm cutting around it. We'll come back to the sleeves. First, I'm going to sew up the dress. Alright, take off your template, and this is the dress that you should have right now. Okay, now I'm going to run this through my sewing machine, sewing along the sides. If you don't have a sewing machine, you can totally hand sew it. I hand sewed everything when I first started out. Sewing machines are actually really easy to use. After you thread the machine, put all the thread in it, you just run the fabric through it. So I'm sewing where I put the pins, and when I get to a pin, I'm just taking them out one by one. And this is it, all sewn up. Okay, make sure you don't sew where the sleeves are. Keep those open. Okay, now I'm gonna make the neck hole. I'm taking a turtleneck shirt I have to copy it. I'm pinning where the shoulders go. They kind of angle downwards, so pinning that. And now I'm folding over the turtleneck to see where the opening is, and then I'm gonna cut around that. Okay, and then we'll save that for later. And then now I'm just gonna run the shoulders through the sewing machine to connect that. Okay, then after I sewed the shoulders together, now I can move on to the sleeves. You'll need to do that before you connect the sleeves. I'm getting a piece of fabric, I folded it over, and where I put the fold is where I'm going to put the top of the sleeve. I'm pinning the bottom half and cutting around it. Don't cut the top part because that's the fold and that is already connected. Now I'm cutting out the piece of the sleeve that's going to connect to the dress. I folded the dress over so I can get that shape. This is like when we folded the sleeve over to get the opening. Now we folded the dress over to get the other opening, like with the sleeve shape. This is what the sleeve looks like, totally done, and you make 2 of these. Okay, so this is all the pieces. Now we are going to attach the sleeves. Okay, so first I'm pinning it together to help me as I sew. I'm pinning the back pieces together, and then I'm going to pin the front pieces together. When I sew on sleeves, I like to hand sew so I don't mess it up. I can go slow. How you set up the needle is you get the needle and you put the thread through the eye of it. Then you pull it through. You cut the other end that's still attached to the thread, and then you tie the ends together. And then your needle is all ready to hand sew. Okay, now I'm sewing where I had the pins. I don't do any fancy stitches when I hand sew. I just put it in and out of the fabric. The closer you do the in and outness, the stronger it will be. The sleeves are now attached, and now we're gonna do the turtleneck. I got a piece of the fabric and I'm folding it over. I'm using the turtleneck I have as a template, but you really don't need to. Just cut this out about, 3 inches. I'm using pins again, pinning the sides of the fabric together. And again, this will be my guide of where I'm gonna sew. Just running it through my sewing machine. Okay, then I'm flipping the strip over and I'm gonna sew down there, just like that. Putting that through the sewing machine. Okay, that was what it looks like. Let's put it together. I'm gonna sew the neck piece on just like how I did the sleeves. I'm gonna hand sew it. And with the turtleneck, you want to make sure that the neck opening is big enough to put it over your head. The stitching also makes it tighter because the fabric is stretchier and the stitching isn't. So be aware of that. Mine was a little bit too tight when I first tried to put it on, so I just like stretched it out with my hands, and that like totally worked. Okay, here's Mavis's dress, her costume. We sewed it completely from scratch. Okay, so I have the costume all on, and here is the wig. This is just a black bob from Target. I got last year for Halloween time. And to style it, kind of looks a little funky right now. Mavis wears her hair behind her ears, so I'm tucking a little bit behind my ears, and that will make it look less poofy and wild. Okay, and then for the bangs, Mavis's bangs are a little pointy. So I just grab the bangs and then just like squish them together, make like a V shape. And this is what Mavis's hair looks like all styled. Okay, so I really hope you like this video on how to put Mavis's costume together and how to sew a black dress completely from scratch. Okay, if you want to see how I did my makeup to look like Mavis, I did a makeup tutorial right here. Also transformed myself into Dracula and Jonathan in that one. And here's a tutorial on how to make a little blobby edible. Okay, have a blooming day. I'll see you next time.